What's up, everybody, and welcome back to my WWE 12 Universe mode. And as I said in my last video, the reintroduction to my WWE 12 Universe after a big hiatus. This video, in terms of commentary, will focus on what's going on in the actual Universe mode. And tonight's first match on SmackDown is John Cena taking on Mason Ryan. And the reason for this one, really and truly, is just to get John Cena back into Universe mode. John Cena is a guy who, I haven't really featured very much of in Universe mode at all. And if you guys can think back all the way to Fatal 4-Way in my Universe mode too, so if you haven't seen that pay-per-view, check out the playlist, go back in time, watch Fatal 4-Way. John Cena and Mason Ryan were both in the Fatal 4-Way match for the WWE Championship, and it's kind of spawned from that, really. That, and Mason Ryan hasn't really had anyone to square off with. He's not really involved in many feuds anymore since his feud with former WWE champion Brad Thomas has kind of waned, and as I say, John Cena hasn't really had much of a feud with anybody, really. So just trying to get John Cena into the mix, really, maybe add a new competitor, a new dimension to the WWE Championship scene. So getting into this one, there you see the power of Mason Ryan, who's also a former World Heavyweight Champion in this Universe mode. He was actually a World Heavyweight Champion before I started to record this series, and before I got my HD PVR, and before I decided to bring my Universe mode to YouTube and all of my viewers and subscribers. Speaking of those guys, I want to thank you all. Thank you so much for all the views. Thank you so much for subscribing. And I will be bringing you more and more of this WWE 12 Universe mode. And they see John Cena taunting Mason Ryan there. Usher into the corner now. And John Cena sends Mason Ryan shoulder first into the corner. And there's a huge clothesline from John Cena, who looks to be going Super Cena before Mason Ryan once again shows off his incredible power. And here comes John Cena, back elbows to the face of Mason Ryan, who stumbles back. The right hand is blocked by Mason Ryan, and then you see that power again, straight into a bear hug, trying to wear down John Cena. But there's a big counter into the DDT, and maybe now John Cena can mount some offense. There's a punch to the ribs. You can't see me, but John Cena's punch is blocked by Mason Ryan, and another bear hug. You can see the strategy of Mason Ryan here, really just to squeeze the life out of John Cena. But here he comes, two big right hands, and now side headlock from Mason Ryan. Snapmare, but there's a rope break for John Cena. He gets a break there. Go behind by John Cena, side headlock from him, and there's a hip toss, or side headlock takedown, really. John Cena going for the 5-knuckle shuffle, and he nails it. John Cena now gaining some momentum. He's calling for the F5. What was I going to say? Calling for the attitude adjustment. And Mason Ryan, he counters it. Reverse DDT. Big time German suplex from Mason Ryan. And maybe Mason Ryan now, maybe he'll win this.
Ryan just planted him.
Huge slam by Mason Ryan. I forget what it's called. You guys can leave it in the comments. He's done for the pin. One. And John Cena, Super John Cena, he kicks out. And this one continues. Mason Ryan, incidentally, is also one half of the tag team champions. Mason Ryan and Ezekiel Jackson, also known as the Monsters, defeated the New Age Outlaws at SummerSlam. And wow. I really don't know who is going to be able to challenge those guys and take back, or take the World Tag Team titles away from them. Demolition is still owed a Tag Team title match. The New Age Outlaws have a rematch clause, of course. We also have the Steiner Brothers, Air Boom, the Usos, Paul London and Brian Kendrick. So there's a lot of tag teams. Booker T and Goldust as well. A lot of tag teams in the mix. So maybe one of those tag teams will be one of the tag teams to dethrone Mason Ryan and Ezekiel Jackson. Not forgetting as well Sin Cara and Daniel Bryan. So we'll have to see how they get on. as tag team champions. But here comes John Cena. Flurry of punches now off the ropes, and he misses that clothesline. Big time back body drop from Mason Ryan. He's building up his momentum now. There's a block kick from John Cena, and that's countered by him arming it into a go behind. Forearm smash to the lower back and a Lou Fez press from John Cena in his tribute to Stone Cold Steve Austin. And John Cena's going for the 5-knuckle shuffle again. You can't see him off the ropes. Here he goes. 5-knuckle shuffle. And now, will John Cena hit the FU this time? FU, attitude adjustment. I keep on mixing them up, even though it used to be called the FU. But anyway, here we go. Attitude adjustment from John Cena. Is going to hook the leg. Ref's going to count it 1, 2, and 3. Here is your winner on SmackDown, defeating Mason Ryan. It's John Cena. So there you have it. What a good opening match that was between two real powerhouses, former WWE champions, former World Heavyweight champions in John Cena, former WWE and World Heavyweight champions in John Cena and Mason Ryan to kick off SmackDown. But now, as you can see, Night Champions 5 weeks away. We're building towards that. And here we go. Our next match of the night. MVP taking on Zack Ryder. Alex Riley at ringside. MVP and Zack Ryder have had quite the feud going on. These two really have been going at it. They had an Extreme Rules match on the SmackDown before SummerSlam. Lots of blood, lots of violence in that one. MVP coming away with the victory, and now they're squaring off once again, Zack Ryder and MVP. And this one really got started when MVP came to the rescue of Zack Ryder, and then the following week, Zack Ryder showed his true colors, turned his back on the WWE Universe, turned his back on MVP. As you see MVP taking care of Alex Riley, and that's one of the things you have to watch out for in these matches, where managers or guys who are playing the roles of managers are at ringside. They will try to get involved, they will try to interrupt pin attempts, they will distract the referee. Big time suplex from MVP, reversal by Zack Ryder. MVP goes into the ropes, but there's a big time counter from MVP, kick to the face. He sends Alex Riley to the floor after sending Zack Ryder into him. Alex Riley now remonstrating with some fans at ringside. But here comes Zack Ryder, kick to the face, and there's a boot to the face. While he was down seated in the corner to MVP, and here comes Zack Ryder. Go behind by MVP. Backdrop suplex. Right hand, left hand. Go behind by Zack Ryder, arm wringer. Another arm wringer and an elbow to the arm. Working on the arms of MVP, and speaking of which, he's got him in a wrist lock, is it? Some sort of wrist lock submission. But MVP, he fights his way out of that. Snapmare by MVP into submission of his own, but the rope break is there to save Zack Ryder, and that is a huge German suplex by MVP. And here we go, face smash, that running knee by MVP. MVP sending Zack Ryder into Alex Riley once again, and there's that face smash with the knee again, that running knee, kick to the gut. That drive-by kick by MVP.
The attack on the skull continues. Watch this! And now looking to put him away.
And there it is again. Another one. It's really an enziguri, and there you see the advantage of having a manager on the outside. Alex Riley just grabs MVP, reverse suplex out to the floor, and now MVP going to work on Alex Riley, headbutt on the outside. And now he comes back in to deal with Zack Ryder, Irish whip into the corner, big boot, just takes out Zack Ryder even in the corner. But there you see Alex Riley back on the apron, probably preparing himself for a pinfall attempt by MVP. MVP deals with him, sends him into the barricade. Now going back into the ring. They see Zack Ryder holding his head. Jumping complete shot. MVP goes for the pin, and the ref's not counting. Why? Because Alex Riley is on the apron. And that's what I mean. That's the advantage of having a manager on the outside. But here we go. MVP's had enough. He's going after Alex Riley. He puts him down. There's that knee to the face by MVP, but Zack Ryder, he counters, and then Alex Riley sends MVP colliding into Zack Ryder, oddly enough, and there's that elbow to the throat by Alex Riley. Somehow the referee doesn't see that, or thinks to go and, you know, eject him from ringside. But oh well, it's one of those things. What you're gonna do? MVP sending Zack Ryder into the corner. Took too much time showboating for the crowd. But there you see once again he pops Alex Riley on the apron. The float over DDT from Zack Ryder. And now Zack Ryder's building some momentum. But here, arm wringer from MVP. Big shot to the arm. Sends Zack Ryder over the top rope. He's groggy on the apron. Once again MVP pops Alex Riley. Brings Zack Ryder back into the ring. Big time elbow drop from MVP. Gonna go for the pin. And once again the referee, he's not counting because of Alex Riley. Drive-by kick by MVP. He was gonna go for the jumping complete shot again. Rough Rider from Zack Ryder. Rough Rider from Zack Ryder. He's gonna put MVP in the middle of the ring, hooks the leg, the referee's gonna count. MVP kicks out though, and this one continues. I tell you what, when Zack Ryder hit that Rough Rider, it looked like this one was gonna be all over, with Zack Ryder getting revenge on MVP, but it wasn't meant to be. Drop toe hold by MVP, and once again Alex Riley with that reverse suplex to the floor, and this time the referee has seen it. He sends Alex Riley to the back, and he gets a big time German suplex on the floor for his troubles from MVP. But MVP spending too much time saluting the crowd, and here comes Zack Ryder. He sends him right back in the ring, and there's the elbow to the throat for his troubles from Zack Ryder. This one now finally one-on-one. No Alex Riley to interfere, but MVP's big boot is countered big time by Zack Ryder. And here he goes, left and a right. But MVP working on the arm once again, but here comes Zack Ryder. His punch is blocked. MVP tried to come back. His punch is blocked. Countered into a side headlock. And there you see that reverse elbow, that back elbow. And here comes MVP with a barrage of strikes. Irish whip. Big time suplex from MVP. He's got Zack Ryder up. Zack Ryder counters with the go behind. Float over DDT from Zack Ryder. Kick to the gut now. MVP's up. And here comes MVP. Irish whip into the corner. No big boot this time, but there's a chop, and Ric Flair is in the building, and another one. Woo! And now MVP with Zack Ryder on the top rope. What's he gonna go for? Is it a superplex? Yes, it is.
Both men appear to be casualties as a result of that superplex.
Jumping complete shot from MVP. Not gonna hook the leg this time, but we'll go for the pin. 1, 2, and 3. Here is your winner, MVP, who defeats Zack Ryder here on SmackDown. Maybe, just maybe, this is the final chapter in the story of MVP and Zack Ryder. And there you see is your winner, MVP, who's going to celebrate in the middle of the ring with his fans, and maybe, just maybe, he'll move up in the rank and put himself in contention for United States. I was going to say Intercontinental, but United States title shot. Oh no, it wasn't a Continental I was going to say. Yes, what am I talking about? We're talking about SmackDown, not Raw. Yes, an Intercontinental title shot against Brock Lesnar after an impressive series of victories against Zack Ryder. But this is something we don't like to see. Zack Ryder is injured. EMTs are here with the stretcher, and I have to stress this: kids, do not try this at home. These are highly trained professionals, and sometimes, you know, people get hurt. There are injuries, and on this occasion, Zack Ryder has to be stretchered out the arena. I'll see you guys on Monday Night Raw.